Hi, so in the last video I showed you how to make this card with a matching envelope. So this was the card I made, Happy Valentine's Day. I cut some hearts, used some designer series paper from the All My Love suite. I stamped inside the card and I made the matching envelope. And this was made using our note cards and envelopes which come in a 20 pack. So you get 20 cards pre-scored and 20 envelopes. So that was that. Today's project, I'm going to show you how to make a little gift box to go with it. It's just a tiny little gift box. Now obviously I've used this as a Valentine's theme here, and I'm going to do the box to match, but this could equally be done for a little birthday gift. It could be a thank you gift, it could be a wedding thank you or wedding invitation. The box could be a little favour box. Just before I start, I just want to show you the designer series paper that I've used and I'm going to be using today. As I say, it's from the All My Love designer series paper, and this paper pack is beautiful. You get 12 sheets, 2 of each, and it's all double-sided and it's all 12 by 12. So this is the first one design, and then that's the reverse. This is a similar design in a different colourway, and that's the reverse. This is just like very, very tiny dots, and that's what I'm going to be using today for the box. This one has got like a neutral background, which is crumb cake, and a very, very small pattern. And then on the back, you've got like little leaf designs. It's absolutely beautiful, this. And if you've never used Stampin' Up paper, it's more like a lightweight card. It's not like a thin paper. This is an all over like tone on tone. Then you've got some hearts. Again, another beautiful design with flowers and some small leaf designs on the back, and then again hearts. And this is what I used to make these hearts. I fussy cut mine with my ScanNCut, but I think there's a framelit set in the catalogue that will cut these out, and that's the reverse. So as I say, there's 6 designs and you get 2 sheets of each, so you get 12 sheets of paper. And it's all in the Spring Summer catalogue on page 5. This is the suite here. There's matching card that goes with it. There's ribbon, there's some heart epoxy stickers, and then there's the stamp set. So I am using the stamp set today, and I'm using 2 stamps from the set. I'm using this cluster of hearts and the Happy Valentine's Day. But as I say, there are other greetings in here. You are loved, wishing you a lovely day, which could be an anniversary or a wedding. I'll love you until the day after forever. My love. It's beautiful, but you know, it could be used for a birthday card or a thank you card. It doesn't really matter. You just adapt it to suit you. And at the moment, we're still in celebration. So for any £45 that you spend from across the inventory of Stampin' Up, so, you know, whether that's from the annual catalogue, from the Spring Summer catalogue, there's even a clearance rack, and you can use the clearance rack, I believe. So for every £45 you spend, you get to choose a free item from the Celebration catalogue. Now, several things in here are already sold out or on very low inventory, but I believe that sometime in February, I'm not sure when you're going to actually see this video, but I think Stampin' Up are going to be bringing in a few more. It's also the best time of year to join. £99 and you choose £170 worth of product. It's amazing. Product of your choice. I have done videos on what I got in my starter kit. I've also put a kind of starter kit together for a basic for a new card maker, all on my blog, to give you an idea how you can spend your money. But you can spend your you can choose your £170 worth of product on anything you like, and it will cost you £99. And you know, when I say that it's a good time to join and you would join my team to get that deal, you don't have to be making a business out of this. You could just be being a discount shopper, a savvy shopper basically. Who wouldn't want £170 worth of craft product for £99? And then any future purchases you buy down the line, you're going to get 20% discount. It's a kind of no-brainer. If you want a catalogue or any of the catalogues, on my website, applelover53.co.uk, go to the Stampin' Up tab and there's a request catalogues on there. So I'm going to show you how to make this little box. To save some time, I've cut some of the elements. So I've got 2 1/4 inch circles, 2 of them in lovely lipstick, 2 inch circles, 2 of them in Whisper White. This is the regular Whisper White, which is like a smooth, it's beautiful, this card for stamping on. There is a thick as well, which I would advise you to use if you're making card bases, but for things like this, matting and layering and stamping, the regular Whisper White is perfect. A piece of the designer series paper, which is cut at 5 inches by 3 3/4. And you can see it's got the beautiful flowers on one side and the tiny dots on the other. So I'm using the Simply Scored scoring board. If you've got the trimmer, the Stampin' Up trimmer, it has a score blade in it. You could use that. So the first thing I'm going to do, on the 5 inch side, I'm going to score this piece of designer series paper at 1 1/4, 2 1/4, 3 1/2, and 4 1/2. I'm going to turn it, and on the 3 3/4 inch side, I'm going to score it at 1 inch, 2 1/4, and 3 1/4. I'm going to fold it and burnish it on all of those score lines. And the better you burnish your lines, the better result you will get. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Now I've got one here that I've already done in some other paper and cut, so it might give you a bit of a guide as to what I'm doing. So you've got like a 1/2 inch section here and another 1/2 inch. This 1/2 inch needs to be at the top and this 1/2 inch needs to be on the right hand side, because this is going to end up being the tab, and this 1/2 inch section is going to be like the flap. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cut up the score lines. I'm going to cut away the bottom section, and I'm just going to notch this, so I'm just going to cut a little wedge out of it. I'm going to cut up this one, and I'm going to cut away the top 2 sections. And then I'm going to wedge this bit here, and that's the flap. Now on the top, I'm going to cut away the top 3 sections and leave this last section, because this is going to make the flap. You could do this with your trimmer, but a nice sharp pair of scissors works just as well. And again, I'm just going to notch this flap. And by that, I'm just cutting a tiny little wedge. How well you can see that in my hand there. That's all I'm cutting away. Now, I'm going to cut these score lines. The second one from the right hand side, you're going to cut away completely. So I'm going to fold the others out of the way and I'm going to cut this one off. And then I'm going to notch this and this. So again, I'm going to fold that out of the way and I'm just going to notch these . And now I'm going to notch the bottom flap here and this one here. So again, I'm going to move that one out of the way and that one out of the way. And I'm going to notch these. Just by putting this little notch in, it just helps your boxes go together better. And that's for anything really. I mean, sometimes you don't need to do it, but I find if you just take the time and take a little slither off them. So that's how it's looking now. So I'm going to apply some glue on this flap and I'm using my snail, which is a permanent dry adhesive. Then if you fold it over and bring this in, this one should meet it perfectly. So that's your box. And then if you fold your flaps in and tuck that in and see if it closes nicely. And if it doesn't, you can always take a little bit more off. I'm just going to give this just another little hair of a trim. So that will fold in. So that's the lid. So this is the bottom now. So I'm going to fold in the flaps, fold in this flap, and then I'm going to turn it over and put some adhesive on this one. Sometimes it's easier if you just keep hold of it so you know which one it is and lay it down flat. So fold in the sides, bring that one over, try and keep it nice and square, and bring that one over. So that's your little box that you can put your goodies in. So now we're nearly ready to start assembling it. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring in some scrap paper. I've got lovely lipstick ink. I'm going to ink up the hearts. I'm just going to stamp off just to see how it looks. And I think, let me try. Yeah, I think I'm going to do what's called second generation stamping. So I'm going to stamp up all the hearts. I'm going to stamp off on the scrap and then I'm going to stamp on my white piece so it's a paler colour. And I think I'll do it on the back as well. So it'll look nice from both sides. I mean, you could, instead of using white card here, you could use matching designer series paper and then cut, you know, another greeting. in something else. Now I'm going to take I've put Happy Valentine's Day on this block. I'm going to use Memento ink . So I'm going to turn this towards me because I've got the Happy Valentine's not straight on my block, so I want to make sure that I get it. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's crooked. I might even do it a bit on an angle actually. Just want it to fit, really. So that's how that's looking. I'm going to put the lids on the inks because invariably I'll stick my fingers in it. I've got a black journaling pen, micron pen, and I'm just going to do some little dashes around the edge. You don't have to do this. And Stampin' Up sell black journaling pens. They are in the catalogue, so even if they don't sell this exact one, I'm sure I've seen them in the catalogue. Now, obviously, I want this box to be able to stand, and if I put a circle on it, it might not. So you can either use a pair of scissors or use your trimmer. And I'm going to trim 1/8 of an inch off the bottom of this circle. And so that I know I'm doing exactly 1/8, and that they're both completely level, this measures 2 1/4. So if I take 1/8 off it, I'm going to take it down to 2 1/8. So if I put a piece of card that I know is straight on 2 1/8 and butt my circle up to it and up to the guide here and then trim it, I know that I've taken 1/8 off it. Oh, I just can't get hold of it, it's that small to show you. So that's what I've taken off. So that's 1/8. So I'm going to do the same on all 4 pieces of card. So 2 1/4, take it down to 2 1/8, put the circle in, trim the 1/8 off. These are both 2 inches. So if I go down 1/8, I'm going to 1 7/8. I mean, it's not probably so vital on the white one, but you know, just to keep it all the same. And I'm probably going to lose a bit of my faux stitching on this one, but it doesn't really matter. So, but with this one, I'm going to put it in so that the greeting is, you know, relatively straight. So now I'm going to apply some adhesive and layer these up. So that's how they're looking. And then obviously making sure you've got your box the right way up. These are now going to stick on here. And I'm going to use some wet glue for this because it will give me a little bit of wiggle room. So I've got some Tombow, which is our wet adhesive, and you don't need a lot. And the easiest thing to do is just put your box down and then bring your front piece up to it. And just kind of centralise it. And I'll show you what I'm doing. Now, I'm not bringing it right to the bottom. I've just brought it up probably about 1/8. And then what I'm going to do is put glue. I've got glue on my hands. Put some glue on the back. And line this one up the same. So I'm putting it down initially to get it flat, but then with it being wet glue, I can manoeuvre it. Again, it's not vital, but you know, it kind of all adds to it. So I don't know if you can see, I'm leaving a little 1/8 of an inch there on both sides. And that is my little gift box, and you can open the lid, put your treats in, or your party favours or whatever. You know, if you want to add a bit of bling to it, you know, you can put some bling or a bit of Wink of Stella on the hearts, might look nice. In fact, we'll do that because I've put Wink of Stella on the card. So this is a clear Wink of Stella, and I'll just paint over some of these hearts. Not sure how well you're going to see the shine, whether you can or not. So that is the two little projects. So you've got the card and the matching envelope and the little gift box. Head over to my website, go to the Stampin' Up tab. There's a catalogue request section. If you fill that in, I'll send you catalogues if you've not already got them, or you can go to shop now and shop online. There will be a product list under the video on YouTube and in the accompanying blog post listing everything that I've used. So please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so. Make sure that bell notification icon is switched on YouTube. You have to click it to turn it on, and then YouTube will tell you every time I post a video. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.